my friends, I am Gosia from Cosmic Agency. I'm very happy to share with you today's video, and this is the conversation that Athena had in 2021 in June with Rich and Dale together. I was there too, but I was more like moderating and just being quiet. I am always, well, I used to be very happy when someone else was in the chat because, you know, it was different minds and different points of view, and with that there were always new perspectives and answers added that probably I would have not considered myself. So I was very happy. I was quiet. I let them speak among themselves. This happened for 4 hours, so the conversation lasted 4 hours. I had to divide the video into 2 parts. The next part will come right after this one. Now, some of you might say that some of the topics discussed is like it's something that you already know or that has been spoken about in the channel, but keep in mind this was 2021. So for example, here we are talking about the densities and how Athena really doesn't like these terms 3D and 5D, but that was 2021 when all of us and Yaski were just speaking about that topic. So it was in that specific moment, okay? Also, she's talking about the Federation. This is just coming out of the bug problem. By the way, I'm using the code words here, bug problems. For the more uncensored version of the text, you have to see the transcript. But this was also happening right after, during the bug problem. So the Federation is also being discussed, but from the perspective of that situation. So keep it all in mind that it happened in 2021. That's it from me. Enjoy the video, and I'm going to see you next for the second part. June 2021. Originally in English. Conversation between Dale, Rich, and Athena. Hello. Good evening.
Hi, Athena.
Pleased to meet you both.
Good evening, Sister Athena. It is an honor to meet and chat with you today.
My name is Athena Swaruu. Swaruu is my surname equivalent. My first name is Athena. You can call me as you wish. I see Swaruu as very formal, but it is okay.
I have always been big brother to the TAYGETANs and Yaji. Please call me that. I am family. May I call you Sister Athena?
Yes, you may. Thank you, as you wish.
I will call you Athena.
Thank you, Rich. Good idea to call her Athena, as this way it will be clear that she is not Swaruu 9 and the rest. It will mark her individuality. Yes, I am a different person.
I think about the adventures you've had, the experiences, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and I'm like, wow. Does she like pizza? Just kidding.
My favorite food, unfortunately. I'm so happy to be with you today. I miss the TAYGETANs and all of you so very much. I am on fire inside and it feels good.
And only to clear something out. Yaski and I are not TAYGETANs. I am not TAYGETAN. I am Swaruunian. It is now an official Federation recognized name. And we are still here. Still a lot to do here. To seed information and concepts, for better or worse. Please feel free to start a topic for our conversation, or ask me just about anything.
Was wondering about a lot of things, lots of topics. Don't know where to start. Things about the astral realms from the TAYGETAN perspective, and the out-of-body experience, but more to the point for people of Earth, things about how we manifest our own reality, and what can we do to help with the mind control, and regain more ability to control our own thinking.
Okay, although many concepts are not the same ones of TAYGETA specifically. Remember, I'm not TAYGETAN. Connected to them, yes, but different now.
with a different mindset and thinking. I would like to talk about a few things as well, like, for example, density names like 3D, 5D, dimensions, and physical reality, among a few other related things. I would like to hear what you may have to say or add about that.
Sure, let's talk about 3D and 5D. Very important these days. Very relevant to the whole Federation issue. I think those labels confuse and misdirect and alter the clearer understanding of the relationship between Federation member planets and Earth.
I see them as human-made concepts reflecting human mind and thinking. Reductionist, an attempt to convert something very big and unmanageable into bite-sized pieces. Reflection of a mind stuck in dualistic thinking.
My understanding is that when people leave their body after it dies, some don't return to the physical universe experience. They don't return to Earth or any other planet in this physical universe. Is your understanding or experience that there are many similar reality systems, a lot like here in the physical universe, where these kinds of experiences that are going on with Earth and the Federation are going on in other realms?
I see as a valid point of observation or of view to understand that there is a physical universe creating its opposite, the not physical universe, especially while reasoning about the subjects from within a current ongoing incarnation. From the point of view of my and Yashi's understanding, there is no such physical universe, being that everything is astral, for lack of a better term, where the agreements of perceptions are the ones that make up a conceptual frame used to place a limit or a series of boundaries to be able to think in terms of physical and not physical. So the type of experience an individual will have depends only on its frame of understanding. Notice I am using individual and not soul, because that is another term full of problems. So we could see the so-called physical universe as seen from within a body, thought or perceived as made up of something. But then, according to Yashi and I, all the concepts that make up a soul, an individual being anywhere it may be, means it has or holds the concept of me, of self, I, or ego. This means it still functions in some degree of duality, meaning it knows itself to be something and not something else. And that concept of me that individual holds, we could argue would be a body in itself. So the concept of ego, of the I, will be a body of sorts. However compelling the physical may be, especially the physical body, from our understanding it is as real as any other concept of ego, I, body, being in the astral or wherever it may be. And its solidity is only an illusion based on agreements. As irritatingly so, Yashi has recently made some kind of experiment with Gosha and Matthias regarding those agreements that cause the perceivable solidity of a body. Yet it is only a set of ideas. And for now.
I gotcha. I made a video some time ago talking about how the physical universe is just one more belief system territory, as in, it's all a dream, or it's all in one's imagination. And we create that reality for ourselves, whether we are in the physical universe dream or any other. It all comes back to us being responsible for the reality we create and experience for ourselves, as the ego self, soul, or individual, meaning the identity or perspective that consciousness assumes. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
So as labels go, 3D and 5D, I guess the idea is to shake those labels off to get a clearer understanding, yes?
Okay, density labels. This is how we see that. For us, and as we perceive things to be, both mentally and through instrumentation, and also through direct travel and its characteristics, there is only one reality mass. Immense, so much so it collapses all the capacity of every being to fully grasp what it is. Anything that defines it falls short of its real nature. For example, the concept of eternity, of always has been and always will be, because it functions outside of known concepts of time and space. After having said this disappointing sentence, I can add how we see things. One mass made up of gravity, that is a flow in the ether. That causes a soup of potential energy that can be understood as made up of frequencies that go from very low to very high, getting lost in both directions into the unfathomable and the unmeasurable. So where we live is a soup of energy frequencies, and what each individual person can perceive as reality is determined by its own frequency. That is, people, individuals, do not live in a density as such, like 3D or 5D, but live in whatever part of it all they can perceive as a range of frequencies. So I could argue that each individual has or holds its own density. It creates its own density of existence. And the people who are perceived as coexisting in a density are only sharing agreements of perception that would be similar to those of the first individual, yet never exactly the same. The problem, while explaining other concepts in a video, for example, is that this may be too complicated for most people to understand. So we have been wrongly still using 3D and 5D as examples, but knowing it is wrong. And we know it is time to evolve. So we do not see any densities as such, only one mass of infinite energy. And we understand that it is the awareness, the mind and the consciousness of each individual who will make up, create or manifest a density, a reality, and all its laws and characteristics. But as a realm cannot exist without the individual, the observer.
Yes, I'm following you. I get this. Yep, common agreements make up a common reality.
Very good explanation, sister. Thank you. May we change this point of perception at any time, sister, by desiring it so? Is there a process to change it, or simply a thought, which is everything anyway? I am living between here and there all the time. I'm at war with my ego, tired of this dilemma. Sometimes I want to get off this mudball. Other times I want to stay and fight for humanity.
You expand your perception and understanding of reality, working on yourself as a process. Only you can know in what direction to go. The more you know and understand, the more you will perceive. And then that will change your frequency of thought mind. And that your reality, because it's a long process. It will also mean that when someone no longer is compatible with one place, set of agreements as seen by a collective unconscious, it is time for such individual to evolve, not to return to said realm in favor of a more compatible one. Quote, "I want to stay and fight for humanity." End quote. We are all doing that as well as we can with what we have. And at the same time, we must all understand that it is not our problem to fix, nor is it our responsibility. As a mass, humans don't want to get involved in helping themselves. As you said, they want to be saved. That means they are in victim mode when they are creators. And at the same time, yes, they are victims, and not accepting that fact is abusive. They are victims and need a helping hand. But it is a very delicate process to know how much to help and to what cost for yourself.
Understood, sister. Thank you.
How much to help and how to help. Big subjects. And to help with what? Humanity, the collective, might want help being saved when they actually need help understanding how they are doing it to themselves. It can be a challenge sharing this kind of information with people who have been agreeing with the terms that 3D and 5D have been representing on Earth. I like the way you put it. Everything is astral. I think most people around here on the ground can relate to that one. Even if there's more to it, they can relate to the concept. Whether they choose to agree with the concept is another thing.
I think this is a case of multiple points of view, because stating that everything is astral would be from one expanded point of view. But from another, down-to-earth, practical point of view, you clearly can make the distinction between astral and physical. Both points of view are correct from one or another perspective. The problem here is that people who do understand why everything is astral can understand why others only see physical versus astral. And those last people cannot understand why everything is astral from a more expanded point of view. Generalizing, of course. How much to help? Like with the false, bug subject. People only do what they are told, and they don't bother to think. They cannot even question the most obvious subjects, not even when their survival is at stake, only blindly believing in what authority figures tell them. I see this even with people who think they are woke. As they cannot think and question reality for themselves, for whatever reason or excuse they might have, may very well spell doom for them all.
Yes, I hear you. When you consider humanity and what to do here, is it more like teaching or guiding? Just sharing helpful concepts? Or how would you put this? I like to teach and I like to share myself.
Me as well, Rich.
I like to teach as well. The problem is that you need people to be interested in what you want to teach. And that has become increasingly more and more difficult. So what I prefer to do is simply to place concepts out there in the wind and let the people sort them out.
What I've been doing is learning for myself how to get better and then sharing my perspective. What I believe to be more empowering set of beliefs or agreements. But there's so much still to learn about all this. And you've been doing this sort of thing for a very long time, yes?
Ha ha ha. Cast your seed. Maybe some will take root.
That's a good way of putting it, Dale.
Essentially, I have been doing the same as you. And that learning for yourself is what I was talking about above, as the only way to increase your perception and understanding of everything. Therefore, expanding your boundaries of real and not real, and of your own private density as a final consequence. All I have been doing personally is learning. About casting seeds, yes. As Robert has complained about many times, he noticed that our concepts are being used by countless others, giving us no credit. But I am personally okay with that, because I'm here to seed and spread, not to be given credit.
Yes, I'm very well aware that when I set out to teach something to someone or share the best version of what I understand on a given subject, I am the one who is learning and growing.
That is the one constant, sister. Learning is never ending.
Yes, Rich. I figure you also experience having a much clearer idea about any concept at hand after explaining it to someone else. When you stop learning, your soul dies, for lack of a better word. Just look at all those poor bank workers in an office, looking at financial nonsense day after day, year after year. Are they even alive? As I see things, their essence, soul, whatever, does retract. They become automatons, incapable of thinking for themselves.
When I listen to the cosmic agency messages, I'm always looking to understand more and better what is being shared. My starting assumption being that with your greater awareness, understanding, and experience, there's something I can learn here, something that will improve the quality of my experience. Plus, you guys are real smart. And I love you. Just saying. I just started to say I do get a little emotional sometimes as I share what I'm hearing. Sometimes I will be processing my own emotions on camera as I rant and all this. But I always try to come back around and share your messages, the essence of it, what you're trying to convey.
I too am very emotional, Rich, and it is typical of TAYGETAN trait.
Thank you so much. I love your rants. Also, when we listen to your reaction videos, we start to see where we are not being clear enough. It helps us a lot. For example, those 3D and 5D concepts are really bothering me. I remember you recently said that there only would be physical and astral, no densities. And I agree, as we have said above. The only added problem to discuss with that is the undeniable presence of creatures that are not visible to us all from the physical, yet they are there. For example, elementals, shadow people, crypto animals. That, in my understanding, are simply outside the range of our perception, as we cannot see all there is. But a ship's sensors can detect elementals, and even CGI them for you, superimposing their image onto the video feel of the forest you are in. Creepy, by the way.
Thanks for clearing this up. You said, quote, for example, elementals, shadow people, crypto animals, those, in my understanding, are simply outside the range of our perception, as we cannot see all there is, unquote. I was wondering about this one. Are those elementals here or the astral, so to speak? Because it was Yaski or maybe Swaruu 9 that was saying people on other planets can see those things, but on Earth, most cannot. I thought they were seeing into the astral. But then again, we might be struggling with words and limited vocabulary.
Again, I think they are difficult to precise where they are, because they are in perception not there when you walk through a forest, yet they can throw rocks and stones at you. So they are physical.
And people think I'm nuts when I talk to the trees and flowers, and they talk back.
And if it helps, or make things even more confusing, a ship can see them using gravity imaging and process an image for you to see them. And they are very much like how they have been represented eons ago. You can see the leaves and twigs under their feet bend under their weight as they creep along cautiously, thinking that they cannot be seen. And as the ship is detecting them with gravity anomaly sensors, You can therefore see that they have mass. Place where I experienced seeing them using gravity sensors, Yorkshire, England.
Oh, wow. So cool. I see. I've talked to quite a few people who can see this sort of thing. So it's really not about physical reality versus not, so much as a range of perception and personal reality. And who else is agreeing with us about what we perceive and believe. Kind of like that, yeah? And that's not really about astral or lower astral creatures, as it is just a range of perception.
I think if you believe it, you can experience it. It is a matter of expanding one's conscience and heart.
Yes, exactly. They are there in the physical, but outside the capacity of your body and perceptual agreements to see. But they can throw a rock at you, hurt you. Yaski can see them with her naked eyes. I cannot. Although she says they are not clear, they are like shadows with some shapes and features in them. The gravity sensors do give you a lot more details.
Ha! Yeah. And they can knock pictures off the wall and bang your cupboards. Same guys, yeah?
Yes, same guys. As real as you or I. May be friendly or may get angry, and they can be very difficult to get rid of.